WayofTime here, bringing to you another episode of EEPower. So, Ultimate has now officially updated to 1.1.2, or is it 1.12, or 11.2? I don't know. All these points is really stabbing me really hard in the back. So, now I'm not too sure what changes there are. There's probably some stability things, but if I remember correctly, there were only 54 pages in this, so there were probably quite a few updates to the mods. I don't think there was a new mod. I'm not too sure about that, but I'll probably check on that a bit later. So what I think I want to make is the advanced electronic jetpack. This thing will help me a lot when I'm, zipping around and trying to get a bit with my Silk Touch picks, because I'll be able to use the jetpack functionality as well as the huge energy reserves that it has of a lap pack. So we're going to need quite a few things to get this done, including advanced heat vents, which I think are the first thing that we're going to need to create. So do we have the advanced lap pack? No, we got the regular lap pack. However, we can make the regular lap pack into an advanced lap pack by getting electron, crystal, and an advanced circuit. So let's first of all get that. Electron, crystal, yes. Okay, so now a circuit. Wow, we actually had a circuit. That does not happen often. And then we got this. Let's craft 10 of these while we wait. And grab... For some reason, it never seems to grab whenever there's something that has a damage value. So we're going to have to make everything in the regular project table. So now we have the advanced lap pack. It's going to need to get a bit of charging done, but I think I'm okay with that as it is right now. So while those circuits are creating, let's check the next part. We already have this. We're going to need some carbon plates, some circuit and engine boosters, which is going to require 6 of those. Let's see, 6. Wow, I was just about to write 6, which would have been slightly embarrassing. So 6 of these. They shouldn't take too long to create. I wonder. Haha. Actually, I don't think they actually do any damage, so I can probably pelt a few squirrels with this. Whatever. I can't have any fun. So, alloy. Here we go. We're going to need to use it later, but we also need some glowstone, as well as a few other doodads. If I remember correctly, we are going to need an overclocker. We actually have a few. And finally, let's get some iron bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to need some more of those iron bars, I think. And one other thing, which it kind of forgetting. Yeah, that's why. We need 4 heat vents as well as a diamond, which are going to take a bit. So now that we have that, we can make the advanced heat vents. And did you not make the iron bars yet? I am ashamed of you. Ha! Oh, it probably used all the iron bars in another recipe. That is just annoying. Okay, now that we have that, we can throw that in there. And let's see if we can do this by memory, which we probably cannot in fact do. Let's see, we have that there, we have this here, we got this here, and this here. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I did that. So 2 of these, and of course that's not in the correct place. So now we have the 2 engine boosters, and now let's see if we can get the main thing in memory. We're gonna have to do this in the project table, I forgot. So 2 here, this here, and this is where it gets a little more difficult. Oh well, I'm caving. So carbon plates, circuit, and glass fibers. So we need the carbon plates as well, which, we actually have quite a few of. And we're doing quite well in the carbon department, so we can definitely segue into that very soon, but I'm going to need to gather a few other materials before I manage to get to that. And finally, circuit, please, if you will. There we go. And we have our advanced electronic jetpack. Now, if I'm correct, it should be able to charge our tools when we use them. Yes, it does. And allow us to fly. Huh. F? Oh! It allows... Ooh, that's nice. So it allows us to turn it on and off. But there's only one problem, is that the mode key doesn't seem to want to work anyways. I have no idea why it never seems to want to work, but oh well. So that will be nice to have. So pressing F turns it on and off. I gotta remember to turn it off each time. Okay, so I'm gonna do a few things. Get some sphalerite for some nice lovely sulfur. Get some mercury as well, and then I'll be back. Okay, now I learned a few things and I gotta be quick about it. So I also learned two things. One, I didn't actually upgrade. Now I have upgraded. And two, these nuclear reactors, they have changed. Therefore, they're not actually as safe as they used to be. So my energy now is possibly flawed. So both of these designs may now catastrophically explode, and obviously I do not want that to happen. So I'm going to have to look online and see if this reactor is still a viable one. If it's not, that means I'm going to have to rethink my whole power structure, because GregTech has definitely changed it. Now, let's look, and we do have the new assembly machines and all the other things. I don't think we're able to make the mass fabricator. Of course we're not. Let's check the assembling machine. Assembling machine isn't too bad. I'm going to need to start using plate bending, and then that's going to require a lot. Let's check that refining. Distillation tower. What does the distillation tower require compared to the other ones? Industrial centrifuge with the messed up recipe. Yay. Industrial electrolyzer. Okay, so I think there's some issue with the mod pack right now. So I'm actually going to backdate because I don't think it's a good idea for me to do all of this. And then I will be back. Okay, since it's a little too dangerous to update right now, I'm going to stop myself from updating. I had to backdate my world save because, well, frankly, I think it's kind of unfair to have reactors blow up in your face when you don't know a change has happened. So I'm going to definitely check this out to see if there's any other issues in actually using it, because frankly I like to have this machine thing, yay, fully operational for as long as I can. So now I'm just getting a bunch of sulfur. I'll be able to stuff that full of as much of an industrial TNT as I need. Then maybe we can work on some more iridium things. Actually getting some iridium machines. Wow, that might be good. Now, maybe the gravisuit would be a fun thing, but let's check it. Dang it, I have the wrong lap pack. But this requires a lot of stuff. It might be a little out of my league still. But, hey, maybe we'll just check that out. I'll do the math, see if we have enough iridium. Then we might go with that advanced form of flying. Okay, here we are back in here, and I did a bit of math, and it was quite frightening, the math that I managed to do. Let's just break it down like this. To be able to make the gravisuit, I would need a stack of iridium ore. I believe it's 17 plates in total, and let's just check the iridium I have. Yeah, not quite over a stack worth. Now, I've been doing a bunch of processing with this machine, and I was doing something in a test world which I honestly didn't think would work. However, I did test it thoroughly enough, and it does seem like it works. So what I'm going to do is make another induction blast furnace. You know, just for giggles, so that I might be able to make an entire system that'll be a lot faster. So it's going to require copper and nickel, once again. Copper and nickel. So if we can get the copper and if we can get the nickel, this is such a machine that it doesn't really need much in the way of... Let's just get a stack. It doesn't really need much, but let's see. Two circuits, 3 advanced machine blocks. Let's see, do we have any sort of furnace here? Yes, we do. And what is required for the induction furnace? Electric furnace, of course. So 2 circuits, so 4 circuits. Let's see, circuit. I'll need 4 of you for after. I'll need a machine block. And actually I'm going to need 2 more of those, as well as several refined iron. Craft? Yeah. Okay, stack that. We'll craft that. So while that's going, let's make the copper nickel. So I've been doing a bit of calculation in the way of refineries. So this is still refining. That's good. And I came to the conclusion that it's not really that efficient to go with that fanciful, fancy-pantsy. Yes, fancy-pantsy. That's definitely what I was thinking of. The fancy-pantsy distillation tower, because frankly, it's not that economical. It really isn't that economical. If you just look at the energy usage and the fuel. If you were just, well, I didn't know this, but the Buildcraft refineries actually convert at a 1-to-1 ratio, so there's no advantage in fuel alone. However, the glycerol, I don't think there's any advantage in getting glycerol, the 1 piece of glycerol that you get. However, we're probably going to have to, let's just check the glycerol. Glycerol, if we look at the energy uses, 56,000 for that. That's not much. That's not much either. Frankly, this isn't much either. And just getting the free glycerol, I suppose, not much of a bother, frankly. Okay, 30 of these probably is going to be more than enough. So let's just get back, and we're going to need to grab a bit of redstone. We need to get our furnaces also. So how many furnaces did we create? None at all, of course, because that is how prepared we are. And let's see, circuits. Circuit City, I might add. Let's see, 1 there, and we're going to need redstone. And we're going to need 2 of these. Okay, so with these, we're also going to need our advanced machine, but stop that! Advanced machine blocks, which is here, refined iron. Not quite as much as I wanted, but I suppose that'll work. Oh, it's copper! Durr! Which one's the refined iron? If I'm correct, that's actually the macerator. So I suppose I was thinking along the lines of a macerator, though I have no idea why in goodness name I would do that. Goodness name, that doesn't even make sense. Once again, making a fool of myself, and I already put that away. So advanced machine block once again, and then we can finally get our final circuit. There we go. So induction, blast furnace, and we got glass fibers, we got ME cables. However, I'm just going to get 2 things. A hopper, maybe? No, actually not a hopper. I'm going to get a bus, and ooh, perfect. I think we only need 1 of those. Actually, we're going to need 1 of these as well. So, this was something that I'm sure, let's just give a fact that I'm sure everybody knows. And this probably isn't any sort of news to anybody. So everyone knows that for an industrial grinder, you're able to put 4 grinders along the body, and that's pretty much its intended usage. That's pretty much how it's portrayed in any sort of video tutorial that you're showing. Oh, by the way, if you're a cheapskate with machine blocks, yeah, you can just put more grinders on the sides. And that's pretty much all you need to do. But that got me thinking. How does the GregTech machines actually scan whether it's a valid machine structure or not? I think it's pretty, it'd be pretty complicated if the machine blocks, if it was scanning to see whether it actually had an invalid, had other industrial grinders around it, or if it just said, okay, I have this correct configuration of machine blocks, I'm going to go ahead and build myself. You're probably seeing where I'm going with this. So, if it's true for that, what would happen if we tried it on this? And we're going to put this here, and we're going to watch and see a green light turn on. If we look over here, check if it overrides, it's still on, it's still online, it's still bloody going. So this is telling us, sorry, I'm just so happy about this. Let's get that out of the way, get some power, and see if it's actually working by throwing some titanium dust in it. And it is working. So this is telling us that if we have the machine blocks, let's make sure that it actually continues. Yes, it does. If we have the machine blocks, we are able to, at any bloody time, just put the stuff in and be happy about it. That's probably saying it horribly. We can put 4 machines on any set of machine blocks. So this can work for induction furnaces. And I assume it's not just the induction furnace and that other one. Maybe it also works for the distillation tower. If so, then that means that we can have 4 distillation towers for the price of 1 and probably some pain and suffering. Aha! This is almost too perfect. So what I'm going to have is this one, obviously it's set so that it has all the pain and suffering. Yeah, I'm never going to live that down. Let's see, we're going to want all the titanium in here, and we're also going to want chrome in here, so that we can automatically put everything in and it'll automatically refine once we somehow make it. So titanium and chrome we'll put in there, it'll shove the titanium back in. This chrome will still work because frankly, why not? But yeah, that is something that I'm kind of shocked about. So let's see. What circuits are we going to need? I'm going to go get the materials required, the emeralds required for the data storage circuits, then I'll be back. And I'm back. So here we are. We have a bunch of olivine. In fact, we're going to throw half of it into this grinder and half of it into this grinder so that we get it going at a much faster pace. This should give us enough emerald dust to slowly work our way up and make the distillation tower, at least the machine casings, once we finally get the thing rolling. So that is going to be quite good. So what are we going to want to make? Now, to put these distillation towers, okay, I've already explained this, but it's not the most efficient way to distill oil into fuel. Frankly, it's probably a bit more inefficient than using the standard Buildcraft fuel refinery system thing. Yeah. But frankly, this is a why not situation. Why not build something like this? I've never built a distillation tower, and frankly, the sulfuric acid that I get from this might be enough to satiate all of my desires. All of them. So I might as well try this. So this does put up a few opportunities for us. One, we don't need a tank for storing everything. We can probably put it all into cells, though I don't know how tin efficient that is. And two, we can just shove all the oil into cells as well. So it's pretty much a win-win situation using the same type of stuff that we were doing before. I need to breathe. Okay, so glycerol, we need to look at the processes that are required for that. We're going to need 1 chemical reactor, and we're also going to need an aqueous accumulator for the water cells. We're also going to need another chemical reactor. Thankfully, we do have a lot of carbon, and we're going to need nitrogen, which is through industrial electrolyzation. Now, what I'd love to be able to do is use saltpeter in the industrial electrolyzer, I'd be able to get potassium and nitrogen and it'd be okay and everything. However, I do get potassium here and chlorite, but ender pearl dust also works. I might as well use the ender pearl dust because I also get beryllium. Beryllium is used in another part, which I suppose, if I'm correct, neutrino reflectors, that's correct. Okay, so we're going to need to make a chemical reactor, 2 of those as well, And we're also going to need to make an electrolyzer. Oh, we already have that. We're going to need to find a place for the electrolyzer, and we're also going to need to throw some things under the bus by just creating 10 of those. We should have everything required, and everything should be hunky. No. There's no way. How many cells do I have in this thing? Wow, that is a lot of cells. That is a lot of cells. I am frankly kind of surprised about that. Okay, so we can't make any empty cells for some reason, and we're going to need to shove this with pistons. I'm going to get some pistons because, wow! I never would have expected that. Okay, so I figured since I'm not using them anyways, I might as well just throw all the hydrogen into the centrifuge extractor and get all of it emptied out because hydrogen is something I can easily work out to get, but it's going to have to be like this until maybe we have to move one of the quarries. One of the quarries is probably already finished now that I think of it, but the persulfate is definitely doing its job. We are getting all the... Is there anything that actually is special for tin? Which is it going into? I'm not too sure. I didn't think that, yeah, tin must have a specialty. It is the blue one, which is the one for copper. Okay, the persulfate usage. So we are refining everything correctly. It's just that we just happen to not be in a tin spot. You might be getting into there with the forest quarry. However, this one, I think it's safe to assume that it's past that. In fact, we're probably going to need to check that in a moment, but let's make sure we have enough cells for us to be able to continue into our automation processes. Okay, do we have everything else that is needed, or do we need to, let's see. Okay, we should have our buses. Good. Let's not run over them. And then we're also going to need to, well, we got our fibers. We can probably make more transformers. We got the electrolyzers. We need the chemical reactors. Good. And how are we going to have these run? On demand? No, I think a constant operation is probably for the best. And I am suffering a bit of lag, which is kind of odd considering the circumstances. Okay, so get this and that. We're going to need to move... Why do I even have those in my hotbar? It just doesn't make any sense. We're going to need to put this. It's unfortunately going to need to be set so that we can get infinite amount of cells into here, but I suppose that has to be for every single thing. So cells, how many cells do we have left? We are really using a lot of the cells. That is okay. We're definitely going to need to get... I'm going to check the other quarries, see how much tin we... or at least what level it's in. If we're not at the tin level, we might have to temporarily move the other quarry, which is going to be a bit of a pain. If that is indeed the case. Or just find some machines to shut off. Oh gosh, I forgot that I had to turn on my jetpack. Okay, so it does seem like it's past the level that it's required, and this is going at a really fast pace, so we are definitely going to need to find a temporary measure for more tin. That's going to be annoying. Maybe we can do either some manual mining, or I can go look at the walls that we have, but the tin situation is going to... I've had issues with copper before, but I don't think I've ever had such issues with tin. I suppose with having so many freaking cells at my constant need, it does kind of make sense, but once we get rid of some of the stuff that we don't really need, maybe through, I don't know, chemical dissertation or something, I have no idea. Okay, let's glide back, probably restart the game so that we have a fresh hunk of memory, and then we can probably, I'm gonna check the cave walls, or rather the walls of the other quarries, to see if there's any tin on the sides. Then I think we'll be able to continue once we get a good hunk of ore. I've found a bit of tin, so just got enough tin that it'll be nice and orderly. So we're going to go and get this stuff going. We're going to need to move and single craft stuff. So I got a stack of tin. That should be sufficient for everything that we need, but hopefully it'll be okay. So let's see. So electrolyzer, this initial electrolyzer, glycerol, is going to require what exactly? We're going to need nitrocarbon. We're going to, we're going to need to get the nitrogen, which is from centrifuging ender pearl dust. And that is going to be a special craft that we have to craft. I already got the ender pearl dust here. We already made some ender pearl dust? No, I don't remember making the ender pearl dust. Well, whatever, bugger. So, how much are we going to do this for? Let's see. Move and create. And what type of limitations are we going to put on this device? Currently, we are only really needing to do it for nitrogen. So I suppose once we have 10 cans of nitrogen, we'd be okay. Like 10 being the limiting factor, because we don't really need to have much on tap. And tin. Okay, so we're going to need nitrogen, and we're going to... Oh, we got some Nitor. That's nice. And we're going to need our level emitter. If I can keep level-headed, that is, it might be a bit easier. And da-da-da-da-da. Okay, in the meantime, let's figure out. We're going to need nitrocarbon, and we're also going to need water cells, which is going to require some more stuff. So let's see. Transposer. We're going to need a liquid transposer and an aqueous accumulator. I think we can automatically create an aqueous accumulator. The liquid transposer I didn't add, so let's add that now. Okay, so I crafted it quickly. That wasn't too bad. I just have to... the only thing that I had to manually create in that entire thing was the reception coil. I had the conductance coil, accidentally created that. But oh well, them's the rules. Okay, so where are we going to produce this anyways? We're going to need the cell variety, unfortunately. I know it's quite annoying. And say we only need 3 water in this process anyways. So having 3 constantly on hand, I think would be sufficient. Until we are able to ramp it up so that we can... Well, the tin is the only process that's problematic in the ramping up stage, so we'll just have to wait for that. So, can we put it here? That might be a good place to have it, right next to the power, because we do need the power for the transposer. In fact, let's put it here. So, right here should be easy enough, having the aqueous accumulator here with water and water. Did I forget to mention water? Yeah, we have water. And wait, we have to make sure that, I remember now. We're going to input it into the top, and we're going to take it from the side. And that kind of sounded wrong when I said that. Oh dear, oh dear. I hope they don't think anything impure about me. Cry, cry. Whatever. Okay, so cells we're going to need a lot of, once again. And just go like that. The word derp comes to mind quite heavily right now. Okay, so now we're just going to need a level emitter. Actually, a level emitter to directly stop it from working is going to be perfect in this case. That means we're going to need another level emitter. Let's get that, craft 10, why not? And then we'll just rush over. I wish I had my fancy pants on right now. That would be so good. You have no idea. Okay, so that... And where are we? We're going to need another thing, the water cell. Oh gosh, I already made that many. That's not good, that's not good. Let's see. Power this, power this. Okay, stop it when we're at 10. That's good. Okay, now it's stopped. Took long enough. But it's not producing any water. Okay. Okay, I see. So it transmitted through the block and stopped that as well. That's why I didn't use it for the other ones. Okay. Makes a lot more sense now. Makes a lot more sense. Okay, so we got that. We have a few more level emitters that we'll be able to use. I thought. Oh, bugger. That's why. Sigh. Okay, we got that level emitter, and oh, crud. I left that running for how long? Not good, not good. And we're going to stop the input, I think, right? Yeah. Yeah, that was good. good placement, Way. You have no idea how thrilled I am of your prowess and everything. We're going to need nitrogen. I think nitrogen is the thing that we're limiting right now. We already have enough nitrogen to drown a hippo, so that's always lovely. Isn't the rest of the world nitrogen? Shut up! Okay. Sorry for yelling at you. Okay, that's going to stop inputting any more ender pearl dust. Ooh. Yeah, forgot that. I wonder how many other machines I forgot to add that to. That merits a quick look. None that are really important, so we can thankfully forget about that. Okay, so right here we're going to need this, and we're going to once again need all of the cells for all of the chemical research and development. Okay, we're going to need hydrocarbons, which is going to require carbon and nitrogen. Ha! There we go. Carbon and nitrogen. Wait a second. Carbon, nitrogen, and other thing. Ah, yes, this will be where the carbon goes, and the nitrogen will be the other side, and we'll stop the exportation. Okay, that's good. So we need carbon, and we need nitrogen. And nitrogen, thankfully, we do have enough of this time. Nitrogen, nitrocarbon, away! And we're going to just need the level emitters that we finally created. Oh my goodness, how long does it take for the bloody level emitters, or do I have them with me? Okay, it's not something that's exactly rocket science, so I guess it's just retarded or something. Or I continually forget that I have it on and just edit it like going like that, huh? Who would have thunk it? Okay, so you just need to have not that. That's sucky. And we can't really have it this way. Move single items. We'll have carbon go into this side. I know we're going to have to mess this up, but we need to put this here. And we need to put this here. And orient this around. Oh, we're making so much UU matter. It's unbelievable. Okay, so just need to quickly get all of this powered up. Ah, fudge. Thank God that did not have power in it. Oh gosh, let me just make another one. Okay, unfortunately the rest of this is going to have to wait for next time because frankly we are too low on tin for this to be equitable. So I'm going to go and wait for my quarries, probably move one of the quarries that's almost done, and probably reconfigure the energy levels so that I'll be able to have a nice, lovely amount at my disposal. How are you wanting for sandstone? Oh well, so I'll get working on that, then I will see you next time. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of EEPower. If you like what you see, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to future episodes. Seriously, how are you not creating the sandstone? WayofTime here, signing off. Have a wonderful day.